Sarita asked about between natural and not so natural. She wants to know what are the real risks if using preservatives that are not classified as natural. Example, liquid dermal plus.
Yeah, there is no safety risk using these things. The preservatives that have been around forever, your phenoxyethanols, your parabens, your DMDM hydantoins, your formaldehyde donors and things, those have all been safely used in the cosmetic industry since, the 1960s, 1970s. And there's never been a real concern about safety of them. Unfortunately, there is a marketing concern about it, and there's a concern has been raised by groups like the Environmental Working Group or Campaign for Safe Cosmetics, NGOs like this who just look at the ingredient and they say, oh, this ingredient, if you're exposed to high enough, is going to cause cancer in rats or something. Those kind of reputations with traditional preservative has led to regulations against using some of these ingredients. The formaldehyde donors are pretty much on the chopping block in the United States and in Europe, so it's harder to use them. Parabens are still certainly usable out in Europe and in the United States and even in Japan and such, and phenoxyethanol. But, to be honest with you, the natural new preservatives that have been introduced, they're not really as reliable. They don't have as much safety data behind them. And you can expect that there have been recalls because people are using inadequate preservative systems. Having said that, remember, we are in the beauty business and we're in the business of selling products, not just performance-based, but you need to support the story. And if your story brand has to avoid parabens or traditional preservatives, then you have to consider that. We go through a preservative section in our course, but ultimately you're going to use organic acids and you're going to use phenoxyethanol, and other options like that can still work and be technically considered natural or work under natural standards. I will say though that the stuff that you're making is not really natural. They exist out in nature, but they created in a lab.